The looks test will really determine how far or how much allowance or how many chances you're going to give to this guy.
Not really as well. No. Because let's be real.
So you accept advances from every guy that approaches you. You accept their advances.
I'm not saying I accept every single advance. I'm just saying women are very realistic with their options. Like they know that we know. Let me finish.
She's laughing. Even she's laughing.
Let me.
Can I point something out? A lot of the time you guys talk about this 80-20 ratio, where like women are all gunning for the same men. And like those studies that you reference, they're all based on dating apps, like OkCupid and Tinder. And I just want to say, like, dating in the real world is far different to our choices on Tinder. Like there could be a perfect man on Hinge, and I would see lives in Dagenham. I'm like, nah.
It's not
Like, that's true. That is true. That is true.
I'm crazy on him as because we're looking for everyone. But if someone is in front of me that I get along with and I can learn to love, then all this nonsense of marketization and all this bollocks of rating yourself, it's absolutely it's a disgrace.
But the point is,
the point is,
we swipe right on dating apps. What, 5% of the time?
What do you mean?
Yeah, but that's because
wait. Let me. So even if we triple it, quadruple it, that's still only 20%. We could double it, make it 40%.
It's 5-1 men to women on these apps. Of course, women are going to be highly selective.
Highly.
And women are highly selective in real life as well.
Definitely.
Absolutely not.
Not as much as men. Not as much as men.
Listen.
No.
No.
Wait, Destiny, can I ask you a question? Do you think who's pickier, men or women?
When it comes to what?
When it comes to for relationships.
For relationships?
Yeah, let's say
I think men tend to gatekeep relationships more. For sex, women tend to gatekeep sex more.
You think men are equally picky?
When it comes to relationships or sex?
Let's say relationships.
Well, it's important because you guys mix them up a lot. They're
I'm not mixing them up.
I'm
not mixing them up.
Sure, okay. For relationships, I think men can gatekeep more than women do.
No, I'm asking if you think they're equally picky with the women that they want to be in relationships with, as women are to men.
Are men as picky as women?
So for you, if you were gonna, I mean, you're already married, right? And I'm looking for a husband, and you're looking for a wife. Who's pickier, typically, by and large? I'm not like I'm just using.
I think it's roughly equal.
Really? That's so interesting.
Wow.
It's interesting, but the reason why is because you guys get all your information from dating apps where the numbers are super skewed. Yeah. But if you go into any school, all the boys are dating all the girls. If you go into any workplace, if you go into any workplace, all the boys are dating all the girls. When there are environments where men and women are together, look at the YouTube world and the stream world. Every YouTuber is fucking every other YouTuber. Every streamer is fucking every. That's how it works. But the problem is, you guys are only looking at like, well, look at Tinder where it's 5 men to 1 woman.
I would actually agree on college campuses. It's similar. I would say it's similar on college campuses. There's like a select group of men that tend to do very well.
No, hold on. Yeah. Wait, no. Wait, what you just said is a highlight of why I think you're not either engaging well. No, wait. Because you said men do very well.
Wait, let me finish. Can I just speak? I said a select group of men.
You said a select group.
So, for example, like athletes.
No. Okay. One athlete is not dating 5 women. A select group of men, they might have sex, but that's why I say it's important to distinguish sex between relationships. An elite group of men can fuck a lot of women, sure. An elite group of women could fuck, or any woman can fuck a lot of men. Yeah, sure.
Can I ask you a question? Like, okay, I'm not saying in terms of relationships. I'm saying in the initial encounters when men come together with women. We're not even talking about relationships now. We're just that initial moment when they meet. Who's usually going to be more pickier? Who's going to be more willing to like settle with whatever comes their way, whatever they catch that night, or whoever they meet in their real life?
Yeah,
who's going to be more? Who's going to be more picky?
Picky for sex?
No, just sex.
No, I think no. Listen. Before the sex or the relationship has come, you first have to meet that person, and you subconsciously, in your mind, not even subconsciously, in your mind if I would sleep with that person or I would give them a chance. You already know that in your mind when you look at them, bro. Like, so what I'm saying... sorry, I shouldn't have called you bro.
You can call me bro. It's okay.
But what I'm saying is that in that initial moment, when you first come into contact with the opposite sex, who is usually more picky? Is it going to be men or women? That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking the relationships down the road.
Sure. When you're thinking just sex, men are going to be less picky than women, of course. Men will fuck
In
almost
terms of
anything.
sex, yeah.
Of course.
But you don't think that's where it starts, like wanting to sleep?
But that's where it
wanting
kind of
to sleep
starts,
with-
yeah.
Wanting to sleep with the person. You don't think that's where it starts?
Because I don't know why you guys.
It's the initial attraction.
I think no. Sorry, can I just say something? So in terms of sex and relationship, it's so different because men, they would pick anyone to have sex with because men just have a high sex drive. But when it comes to relationship, I believe men are a lot more picky. They'll say they don't want a woman that has too much body count. They don't want a woman
with kids.
A woman with kids.
No,
There's
I agree.
so
I'm
much
not arguing
standards
I'm not
that
arguing
women
I'm not
have
arguing
to.
that.
Can I
I'm not arguing
But
that.
You- I'm not arguing that.
women, the standard that we set for ourselves is literally: does he treat me well? Is he going to be a good father?
Yeah, but
Does he have-
before you get to that point, there's a yes or no. Before you get to that point of I would like to get in a relationship with this guy, that guy would have to qualify some requirements, some preferences in the first place, and that's
But you don't
what
have to have sex to do that. You can
I
just
never
speak.
said you have to have
can
sex.
speak.
I never said you have to have sex.
Yeah, but women will speak to anyone.
Bro,
It doesn't have to.
Yes, and women will speak to guys and they'll be banging the guy that they really like.
Yeah, banging.
Wait, can I-
you can bang anyone.
Yeah,
Here's a simple-
and they will want relationships from that guy.
Not a lot of
here's
time.
a simple.
Not
Here's a simple.
really.
This is what I think. This is wait,
Oh
hold
my
on.
God.
When we talk about gatekeeping sex versus relationships, this is what I think. Okay,
Wow.
if you were to go into a guy's body count and you were to ask the guy of the last 10 women you fucked, which of those 10 would you date? I think you can find guys that would say like 1 or 2, maybe. But if you go and you ask a girl, the last 5 or 10 guys that you banged, how many of them would you date? They'd say like, well, 3 of them I did date, you know? And for the most part, like at least half of them I'd probably consider dating, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say generally, like men will gatekeep the relationship part a little bit.
Definitely.
And
No,
women
I
will
agree with
gatekeep-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
exactly what I'm saying
Exactly,
too.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
said I agreed. I said I wasn't arguing, and you just kept talking. You wasn't listening.
No, but you were saying
I was
something.
agreeing with you.
No, you weren't.
No, I saying initially before you're starting to go out on dates and you're considering a relationship, that person has to qualify certain requirements, and usually it's a looks test. The looks test will really determine how far or how much allowance or how many chances you're going to give to this guy.
Not really as
It
well.
don't-
No,
how can you-
because
Go on.
let's be real.
So you
The
accept
dating
advances
pool-
from every guy
Listen,
that approaches you. You accept their advances.
I'm not saying I accept every single advance. I'm just saying women are very realistic with their options. Like they know that we know. Let me finish.
She's laughing. Even she's laughing.
Let me finish. Yeah, we can say, oh yeah, I want a 6-foot guy, but they know there's not that many 6-foot guys.
there's not
When
many.
it comes to reality,
Yeah.
they look at the dating pool. It's the dunya out here. Like, bro, there are frogs everywhere.
Bruh.
Women actually stop and think, you know what? I don't want to be single for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yeah, and
married
what's
the
before
best out of the
30.
bad bunch, innit?
And what age did they start thinking like that?
30.
To be fair, a lot when
Okay.
they're older,
So
definitely. I do
when
think
they're out
that.
when they're out of their prime years.
But men never. Men always think they can get the
guy.
baddest chick. You've
I'm
got
just being real. Listen, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but at the end of the day, your prime years is your.
no, but wait,
Let's just
can I
say your
ask
prime
you-
years are your 20s, bro.
But what is the prime?
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you bro.
Men reality, it hits them in the face because they're not going to get that girl, but the girl can still sleep with that guy.
Okay,
That's
hold
what
on. Why are
that's
you?
what-
You're so male-brained in all your answers. You're only looking at the sex. Most women know they could fuck most guys whenever they want. That's why women don't chase sex. They don't need to.
is.
But there's a difference.
There's always
between
that
chasing
number.
sex. That's why I get mad when you guys talk about hypergamy. They act like an average whatever woman
do you
knows
not-
that.
do you
Well,
not
let me
think-
finish.
Do you not think
Hold on,
women?
you should.
Because you'll make like 3 different.
I'm not making a point. I'm reinforcing my first
Do you
point.
not? Do you not think women date up?
No.
You
No.
don't think
No.
women-
not at all.
Not now. Not
Hold
now.
on. Again, hold on. When you say date
let's be
up,
real.
this is a data answer. When you say date up, you're only looking at it from the male perspective. When you say date up, you go, oh, well, they date up because the man is earning more money.
where?
But then you'll say things like men value younger women, and in that case, men date up because they tend to date younger or they tend to date more
not
attractive.
earning as much.
We all value different things in the dating market. Everybody dates
But in the
about
exchange,
where they're at.
exchange of that man that has got all the money and resources and all that to offer the woman, and the woman's basically she's young, good looking. Do you think that's an even exchange of value?
Yes, because the man is chasing what he wants, the woman's chasing what she wants.
So
yeah.
is he dating down?
No, it's not dating down. They're
It's a
both
different
they're dating.
level.
They're different.
'Cause you want the prime, innit? You want
they're
that
looking-
young body, that high
No,
titty.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you. That's your prime.
You guys
But
will
guess
say
what?
this. You guys will say this. You'll
Go
say
on.
men don't care about a woman's accomplishments, and then you'll say, well, a guy is dating a woman that's young and super hot, and you're like, well, he's dating down. No, it's not dating down because you just said they don't care about the woman's
Do you know why it's
accomplishments.
dating down? Do you want to know why it's dating down?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because in that exchange, yeah, the man is probably offering resources and protection, yeah, protection and provision. That is long lasting. That's forever. Whereas what that woman is offering is her youth and her beauty, which will disappear. The
And so
wall
what,
is
her value
undefeated.
is zero
That's on the
after
No,
door.
but
that?
I'm just saying I'm saying it's not as even. You're saying it's an even exchange, but it's not because he's offering something that is forever, and she's offering something that will disappear in like what 7, 10
What
years.
about
at
love
most.
and
guys are
companionship and
insane.
commitment?
No, but that's not the point. That's
But that's
not
what
the
he
point we're
values
talking
at
about.
the-
That's not
but
what we're talking about right
but
now.
in that scenario, at that point, that's what he values. At that point, he
How do you
values.
know what he's valuing?
Because
Men are
you just
different.
said it.
Listen. You're talking about love and all that. I'm just saying on the base
I'm not.
level.
No. I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about in terms of what men value. They don't value a woman that makes a lot of money.
Okay,
You said that
okay.
yourself.
Okay,
so
yeah.
in that moment in time, they value younger women.
Okay.
So he's not dating down because in his eyes, that's what gives
but
me.
you're not thinking.
That's what the
but
value
you're not
is.
thinking in the whole scope of it. Okay, yes, I agree with you, and I said it. Yes, men will value youth and fertility and all of them things, but these are all things that disappear.
Yeah, but
What
that,
he off? No,
that's the
no,
man. No.
What? You're not.
That's
You're
the
not
man.
even.
No, that's the man. No. So,
Go on.
okay,
Because-
finish.
You're not listening,
Finish.
bro. What he's offering does not disappear. It doesn't go. It doesn't go nowhere.
Yeah, but
You
that's
don't
not
know
the
that.
women's
So how is
fault.
it- You don't-
That's
I
not
never
the
said
women's
it's
fault.
fault. It's not
At
about
the end of the day,
fault.
the men choose what they value, right? If they
Wow.
value younger women and that's what they want at that moment, it doesn't matter if it expires in a couple years.
I'm just saying
that's
it's
what
not
they
even
valued.
exchange. I'm just saying it's not
And then
even
he'll
exchange.
value a
Listen,
mother of
listen.
a woman that is stable and can give his children all that they need. His needs probably
Exactly.
change.
Everything
and
in
then
this
it aligns.
Sorry, everything in this life is fleeting. You don't own all your material. Yes, you have resources
Okay.
now. Listen,
Okay.
but that can disappear.
What's more likely
Look
to
at
be?
that! Look at the economy now. Look at the hyperinflation can happen one day. Suddenly, all this is gone.
Yeah, but you're
Now
saying
where's your
maybes.
value?
You're
So
saying maybes.
according
You're
to
talking
your
about
standards,
maybes.
You don't
You're
have
talking
value
about.
anymore.
You're talking about
It's not about
maybes.
me.
You're talking about
You
maybes.
don't own anything.
You're
in this
talking
life.
about
You don't
maybes.
own yourself.
but wait,
You don't
his-
own anything.
You're not
in this
listening.
life.
You're just over talking me, and you're not listening.
I'm listening. I know what you're saying. That
So what am
that-
I saying?
That our beauty, it's inevitable that it will.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And I'm saying
You're talking about nothing. You don't own nothing
But
in this world, and
what
what if
I'm-
this happens?
okay.
It's what ifs you're talking
So
about.
I understand, okay?
Okay,
But
cool.
what I'm getting at is that just because certain possessions we have may disappear does not mean our value as a human being diminishes. What is important is us as individuals having a partnership and love. Like all this.
Of course you can
Can I
say
ask you
all
a
that.
question? Can I
Of course
ask you
you're
one
gonna say
question?
that, bruv.
One question
Because you
about
got
now.
the diminishing value, bruv.
Let me ask you something. You see,
You guys are
and I'm saying, I feel
So what
like
do you want? Do you want women to
Esther.
never grow old?
No,
Esther, 1 minute,
I'm
1
not
minute,
saying
1
that.
minute, 1
So
minute.
what's the solution?
Guys, stop.
What's the solution?
Esther, stop, guys. Okay,
Can I-
okay, wait. Okay. We have to go one at a time because when you're talking over each other, it's hard to hear on the audio. Okay. Okay.
Well, I
wait,
just
wait.
want-
I
okay.
didn't say talk yet. I didn't say talk yet. I'm gonna give you a chance to go. Go ahead,
I just
go
wonder
ahead.
what you've got a very juvenile standard of beauty. Because your beauty.
Of course you're gonna say that.
No, and I'm saying that because I can give you. Let's look at celebrities. Nia
Why?
Long
Why are we
at
looking at
20
celebrities?
is just as beautiful as she is at 50.
You're not the market.
What are you talking
are you
about?
talking
You're not a man.
You're.
You should maybe ask men because it's men that's gonna date her, men that's gonna marry her, men that will impregnate her.
Are you telling me you're the spokesperson for all men?
Bro, but I'm
don't
a
think
man
you are,
and you're
babes.
not. I'm in a better position than you.
I'm not sure, because as I said, you're talking from a very juvenile, unmatured perspective of what
Okay,
beauty
I
is.
just- can I-
Your
wait,
beauty
let me-
standards
in
are
your
very
opinion.
certain.
You don't even know my beauty standards. You haven't asked
I have
me.
a question for you. So there's some girl, I don't know who that is. What's her name?
Nia Long?
Nia Long. And she's just as beautiful at 20 or at 50 as she is at 20.
I believe so.
Okay.
Delusion.
You-
Delusion.
I think you lot should Google
How
her.
old are you?